What's going on, everybody? It's Achilles LVT coming at you with a brand new video, actually a brand new ugly mug entry, and I have not done one of these in a while, but tonight is kind of a special occasion regarding a certain thing that I wanted to announce, and two parts of what I'm about to announce have been harping on me to get this done before Friday, I believe. So right now I do apologize for the low lighting behind me. I know some of my heroes buddies on here, maybe they're freaking out a little bit because this is the first time they've actually seen what I look like, depending on how much of the channel they've I guess scattered through. But yeah, so before I announce what I'm gonna announce, I just want to make it clear to that same crowd, if they so happen to be watching this video, what I'm gonna say will not affect the heroes portion of this channel whatsoever. Those uploads will still be coming, even though it's kind of a bad sell, seeing as my last upload was 5 days ago. But we're not gonna go into that. So getting to the topic at hand, because I wasted 1 minute rambling. Basically, for people who didn't know, I used to, for I think 2 years or so, 2 years and change, I actually did play Call of Duty competitively. Not in any major scenes or anything like that, but I did go through the basically the amateur circuit, everything that comes with it, everything that goes along with that, all the practicing, all the playing, all the hours and stuff like that. Never actually got as far as a LAN or anything like that, but I did have a very good experience and made some very good relationships going through that grind, and it was something that I highly enjoyed. It was something that I was surprised that I enjoyed as much as I did, because I came up as a Gears of War player, and Call of Duty was never my game, but it ended up becoming my game. Like, the more I played it, the more I fell in love with esports and things of that nature. And I didn't exactly have the greatest way to walk away from playing some more, because there were a lot of variables going on when I decided to stop playing, and when I made the transition into what I'm kind of doing now, which is just whatever I want to do for fun, which currently happens to be Heroes of the Storm. Um, but like I said a little while ago, I established some very good friendships and very good relationships doing the esports thing, and it's one thing that I actually wanted to entertain. I thought about it. And two players in specific that I've maintained contact with. Two players I used to team with. One of them I teamed with for basically almost like two, maybe close to 3 years, depending. I played, maybe I played a little bit longer than I thought, but I've known this guy for a while now. And then the other one, I literally 1 year difference between the two. Two guys that I've grown to really love and respect like little brothers, and they came to me with the idea of basically starting an organization and taking Lazy But Talented into a different direction. And it's something that I was interested in when I was a player, because I feel like supporting people and building contacts, networking, those are things that I actually feel like I excel at when I really put my mind to it, when I have the time to do it. And that was just something that I couldn't really focus on as a player. Like, me personally, I feel like if you're going to be a player, that's what you need to focus 100% of your time on. You shouldn't be a player and a manager at the same time. I just don't feel like it works. And now I'm in a current situation where, because I'm just doing whatever I want to do and I'm just having fun, now I don't have that tedious grind of trying to be a player. I have nothing but time, really, as far as like what I want to do. Not necessarily, I don't want to say I have all the time in the world, because like I mentioned in the previous Heroes video, like, I have a new job, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. What I do, I'm not gonna flat out say where I'm working, but I will say that where I'm working basically gave me the green light to finally go through with this. Because when I say that I wanted to be somebody that supports other players, I don't just mean it in the sense of moral support. I don't just mean it in the sense of like saying that my clan or whatever is an organization, and that's what it is because I said that's what it is. No, I take everything I do extremely seriously, and this is going to be no different. I actually want to make a name for myself. I want my guys to make a name for themselves, and I, honest to God, want Lazy But Talented to actually become something bigger, way bigger than what I could have imagined it was when me and my best friend basically came up with it. And that's a big reason I always say, if like you haven't noticed it by now, I always say like hour whenever I talk about subs and stuff like that. My best friend doesn't really upload all that much, but I still consider it to be our channel. And now that Lazy but Talented is actually going to attempt to get into the Call of Duty scene this year, that's just going to continue to be our and not mine. So basically, if you happen to be a competitive player that's looking at Black Ops 3 this year, I already have two guys that have my full backing. Really, they're gonna start recruiting as far as finding two other people to play with as soon as the game comes out. And I mean, it goes without saying, if you're a PlayStation gamer, this and you have interest, this is something you may want to look at. But there's some things that I want to make clear while I may or may not have anybody's attention on this. For one, again, I don't just mean moral support when I talk about supporting these guys. Like, how can I put this? Well, for one, you're definitely gonna have to be on the GBs or whatever. You're gonna have to have premium, whatever it is you need. Getting into paid tournaments is not going to be an issue. That's exactly where I come in. I will definitely make sure that whoever ends up on this group has whatever they need to get to compete in these games, because I'm not going to sit around for a full year trying to make this happen for whatever the team ends up being, and they're just playing against, everyday people on the game, like in random lobbies and stuff like that. No. If you're going to be running with the two guys that I have, you're going to be expected to compete in these tournaments, in these 2K tournaments, in these 5K tournaments, things of that nature. You're going to be expected, and it goes without saying, you're going to be expected to be able to travel. And one thing I want to make abundantly clear, if it wasn't clear before, I have a history with the two guys I have right now. So I know I can trust these guys with anything. So it's not so much, if you're watching this video as a player who has nowhere to go right now, don't think for one second that it's really me that you have to leave an impression with, because it's not. You need to leave the impression with the two guys I have, because whatever they tell me, whatever they want to go, whichever direction they want to go with that team, that's where it's going, because they have my trust. They have my full backing. I have time with them. I know I can trust those guys, and I know that they have a good sense of, judgment as far as character goes. So don't think for one second you're just gonna show up and like call shots or basically try to change the way we're trying to do things around here, because it's not gonna happen. This is gonna be a full-blown team effort. Even though I'm not gonna be the one actively playing, that doesn't mean that I'm not going to be involved in what's going on. So just definitely keep that in mind. The ego thing, that's not going to get you anywhere here. 100%, I could guarantee you that that's not going to get you anywhere here. Plain and simple. If you feel like you're a known player, if you feel like you're a big deal, and you're not currently being represented by an organization or a competitive team that's known on some level, then you're not. Plain and simple. We're all in the same hole right now. Every single one of us who don't have a name for ourselves, who don't have all the things that every player wants, we're all in the same hole. So we're trying to climb out of it together. So that's something that you got to keep in mind. The other thing I want to point out is that me personally, as far as the traveling thing goes, again, I'm not going to get into what I do, what my work is, who I work for, anything like that. But I will say this much: traveling for me is no longer an issue. I can pretty much fly wherever I want, no problem. And that's all I'm going to say. You can read in between the lines and figure out what I do to make my income. And that's exactly why I'm stepping forward now and basically trying to come through for my guys asking me to do this. So I think one thing I'm going to make abundantly clear, and I am going to write out a full pitch at some point and start posting it around anywhere I can think to post it, but there will also be a probation period. So that's another one. Don't think that you're just going to show up and automatically get any kind of like benefits. That's the operative word. Like, anybody who comes in with a "what can you do for me" attitude, we don't want you. Plain and simple. I don't care if you're the next Scumpy. I don't care if you're every single COD pro known to man combined times 50. If you have any kind of demeanor of "what can you do for me," we don't want you. Plain and simple. And I know my guys will not fight me on that whatsoever. So basically, Lazy but Talented is going in a different direction. Again, if some of my Heroes buddies are still here, it's not going to affect my channel, like the channel and what I'm uploading to it, but this is definitely something that could be really good depending on who we end up with. So it's something that you may want to keep an eye out for. My two players, the info that I have for them will be linked in the description in case you want to reach out and start networking with them. Again, they will be recruiting on Friday. They will have the game from day one. They will be playing like crazy as much as they can. That's another thing I want to point out. Late bodies. Like, if you have an early curfew, this is probably not going to be the situation for you because my guys stay up late. So that's something that you want to factor in. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'm pretty sure I'll have other updates coming along this front now because this is going to be a different direction for me too. This is going to be a different kind of challenge for me, but it's one that kind of excites me, and it's one that I honestly think I could do, and it's the only reason I'm entertaining it. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. This is Achilles LBT. That's Achilles with the Z. Remember it.